Sileon just published a report for the first quarter of 2023, and standing beside me is David Larsson, who is CEO. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
It's good to have you back. I thought we could dig into the report right away. Revenues continue to grow. This quarter you reported a revenue of 15.2 million SEK from last year's 14.9 million. EBITDA loss increased slightly, however, amounting to 5.6 million from earlier 4.5. How do you view the numbers?
Well, we are still growing, as you point out, even though it's a slower growth that we have seen compared to the prior quarters. And this quarter we see effect of that we're phasing out non-strategic customers, as well as our larger customer, OKQ8, has not gone really full scale live yet, so we don't see revenue from that customer in the quarter. In addition, we are investing in a tech center in Gävle with employed developers. So also in quarter one, we have the double cost, let's say, of consultants, as well as the phase up of the strategic investment in Gävle, which we will not have from May and onwards.
So once-off cost then, but could you tell us more about this tech center in Gävle? How come you decided to start it?
Well, it's a strategic initiative we do, both from a continuity as well as growth point of view, with own employed developers, and we found a good spot, not far away from Stockholm, but also with a possibility to grow there.
As I was reading through the report, I read your CEO letter, and early in it you mention buy now, pay later solutions for cards specifically. Could you talk to us a little bit more about that? What is the play?
Absolutely. So over the past 10 years, buy now, pay later providers have been taking market share over the credit cards. And now there is an opportunity to launch buy now, pay later also on existing credit and debit cards. Our buy now, pay later platforms and solution is extraordinarily well suited to support lenders and card issuers to do so. So therefore we are now launching these capabilities for this customer segment.
I also read that you've noted an increased demand for this from the card companies. Where is this demand rooted?
Yeah, so the dialogues we have had with card issuers and banks over the past quarters, it's quite evident that they are facing this problem of losing market share to buy now, pay later providers such as Afterpay, Klarna, etc. And let's say the first step, what they can do is to add BNPL on their existing business, which is cards.
The big thing in the quarter is the BNPL platform that you were able to launch here during Q1. Could you tell us a little bit of how big this step is for you and what it means for Sileon?
Oh, this step is really big. The BNPL platform is the foundation of Sileon and how Sileon go to market with the BNPL functionality for lenders. So it's a leading technology, full scalable, and for lenders to launch their BNPL experiences in 6 to 8 weeks.
You launched during the quarter with OKQ8, but sadly this was rather late in the period, so we didn't see any revenues from that during the quarter. But could you tell us something about the latest news of your work with OKQ8?
Yeah, we have been running a pilot at several stations at OKQ8, sort of a handful. The pilot is successful. The functionality is well appreciated at the stations as well at the consumer level. And given that now more of a full-scale launch and rollout will happen from May and onwards. So then at OKQ8, the plan is to go live at all the by OKQ8 fully owned stations in May.
No revenues this quarter from this deal. However, you mentioned that you're now going to build, or is going to be active at 150 new locations with OKQ8. And you also said in the reports that we can come to expect revenues in latter quarters. But could you be more specific? When can we expect revenues from this deal?
Yeah, I've said previously that OKQ8, as many of us are aware, is a very, very large customer. And we can expect OKQ8 to be our, for now, largest customer. Given the rollout and the rollout schedule, we expect that, let's say, the material revenue from this customer in the later part of the year rather than in Q2.
Let's continue to talk a little bit about the rollouts, because you write that moving forward now with the work with your solutions to the platform, that it's going faster than expected and that modules will be launched step by step during this year. Could you talk to us a little bit more about the roadmap you currently have ahead of you?
Absolutely. So, as we mentioned just previously, we launched the platform in Q1, and the platform is the foundation, with the core functionality of Buy Now, Pay Later. On top of the platform, some of our customers need what we at Sileon call solutions. And an example of a solution is risk assessment. So in BNPL, it's really important to be able to risk assess a transaction pretty much real time, or actually real time in milliseconds. All our customers don't have that functionality today. They might have risk assessment, most banks do actually, but they cannot do it in milliseconds. So therefore, we incorporate technically these type of functionality, such as risk assessment, anti-money laundering functionality, etc., that our customer can add on to the platform functionality. So yes, this is going faster to add this type of functionality, and it's going faster also because we've invested in a SaaS cloud-based platform. So we will step by step launch this type of solutions, and the first ones might be launched already in end of Q2.
And many of these solutions that you described here is, I assume, a part of the new partnership together with Provenir. Could you tell us a little bit more about them and what they'll be able to offer on the platform?
Sure. So Provenir is a leading supplier of risk engine and risk assessment, and Provenir is operating in Europe, but also in other countries. So by integrating Provenir functionality through our platform, our customers get the functionality for risk assessment and more functionality as well in one only integration with Sileon. We view this as a really strategic partnership together with Provenir, and we as a company, as I just mentioned, we are adding more solutions, and then we will look for other leading suppliers of BNPL technology and integrate into our platform.
And you mentioned they were active on the European markets and some other countries. Is North America included?
Absolutely. North America is included as well, even though North America at this point is not the focus for Sileon.
David Larsson, CEO, thank you very much for answering my questions.
Thank you so much.